Close your eyes for a moment and listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. Have you been feeling different lately? Like something deep inside you is stirring? Like the world around you no longer fits who you are becoming? You're not lost, you're awakening. The restlessness, the silence, the sudden awareness that life has more meaning than what meets the eye. These are not random. They are signs that the Spirit is calling you higher. Stay right here, because in this message you will discover the 3 divine signs that prove your awakening has already begun. The quiet stirring in your soul, my beloved friend. Before I speak to you today, I want you to still your heart. Take a deep breath, close your eyes for a moment. You are not here by accident. There is a divine appointment in this very moment. The Spirit of God, the breath of life, has led you here, not through coincidence, not by chance, but by purpose. You are being drawn into a moment of awakening, a sacred moment of remembrance, where your soul begins to recognize that it was made for something greater than the ordinary rhythm of life. There comes a time when the noise of the world becomes too loud for your spirit to bear. You begin to notice that the laughter feels shallow, the conversations feel repetitive, and the things that once gave you joy now leave you empty. That, my friend, is not depression. It is divine dissatisfaction. It is your soul whispering, you were made for more. Many people live their entire lives asleep, walking, talking, working, chasing, but asleep in the spirit. They wake up, they go to work, they come home, and they repeat. They live by the ticking of the clock, but not by the rhythm of purpose. They are surrounded by information, yet disconnected from revelation. But then one day something shifts. Something begins to stir deep within. A restlessness, a soft inner voice, a gentle discomfort with the ordinary. And that moment, though confusing, is sacred. It is not chaos, it is calling. The Spirit is saying, wake up, beloved, it's time to remember who you are. Have you ever sat in silence and suddenly felt that the noise of this world could no longer fill the emptiness inside you? Have you felt that ache in your heart, that quiet yearning that refuses to be silenced by success, money, or people? That yearning is not weakness, it is awakening. The old ways no longer fit because you are stepping into new spiritual skin. The awakening does not begin with fireworks, it begins with stillness. It begins when you stop running long enough to hear the whisper of your own soul. And in that whisper, you sense something powerful yet peaceful, God drawing near. You begin to notice signs, moments, synchronicities, things you once dismissed as random now feel like divine messages. The veil begins to thin. You see purpose where others see coincidence. This awakening is not an accident. It is an invitation. It is heaven's way of saying, rise. You begin to see differently, feel differently, desire differently. You no longer chase approval. You chase truth. You no longer seek comfort. You seek meaning. There are 3 signs that reveal this sacred process. 3 signs that confirm you are no longer the person you were yesterday. You are shifting, expanding, evolving. So take another deep breath. Open your heart. The Spirit has led you here for a reason. Let us walk together through the signs of your awakening. Sign 1, the breaking of the old self. My beloved friend, when the awakening of your spirit begins, the first sign you will encounter is the breaking of the old self. It is a sacred and painful process, but it is the very doorway through which your higher life begins. You see, the old self, the self shaped by fear, pride, and worldly desires, cannot carry the weight of your divine purpose. It cannot walk into the light of awakening. So life, through the hand of God, begins to break it down. Suddenly the things that once defined you start to crumble. The habits that once controlled you begin to lose their hold. The identity you clung to starts to dissolve. You may ask, why do I feel so lost? Why does everything seem to be falling apart? But in truth, my friend, it is not falling apart. It is falling away. The false layers of your being are being stripped so your true spirit can breathe again. The seed must break before new life can emerge. This breaking can manifest in many forms: relationships ending, careers shifting, dreams collapsing, or emotions surfacing that you thought were long buried. You might find yourself crying without reason or feeling a heaviness you can't explain. But listen closely. This is not the end. This is the holy dismantling that makes room for divine rebuilding. God cannot pour new wine into an old wineskin. He cannot fill what is already full. So he allows the cracks to appear, not to destroy you, but to release what has been trapped inside you. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every tear is not wasted. It is the chiseling away of everything that no longer serves your growth. During this breaking, the ego resists. It says, why me? It says, this shouldn't be happening. But the spirit within you whispers, this is necessary. The pain you feel is not punishment, it is purification. The confusion you face is not chaos, it is creation. God is preparing you to rise. If your life feels unfamiliar right now, if you no longer recognize yourself, take heart. You are shedding the old layers that once limited your vision. You are releasing the version of you that was shaped by fear, expectation, and approval. You are learning to surrender, not to weakness, but to divine transformation. And though it hurts, remember this: breaking always comes before blooming. The caterpillar must dissolve before becoming the butterfly. The night must fall before the dawn breaks. And in that same way, your breaking is the beginning of your rising. So if your heart is breaking, if your plans are collapsing, if your world feels uncertain, rejoice. You are not being punished. You are being purified, prepared, and positioned for something greater. The Spirit is moving within you, whispering, be still. I am making you new. You are awakening, beloved. Let the breaking do its holy work. Sign 2, the call to silence and separation. My beloved friend, after the breaking comes the quiet call. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is gentle yet persistent. It is the call into silence and separation. When the Spirit of God begins to awaken your soul, He leads you into a place where the noise of the world no longer feels right. You begin to withdraw, not because you are bitter, but because you are being called higher. You might notice that you start craving peace more than attention. You no longer have the same desire to prove yourself, to argue, to explain, or to seek validation. Instead, there is a longing in your heart to be alone, to sit in quiet spaces, to feel the whisper of God's presence. This silence is not loneliness, it is alignment. In that sacred stillness, heaven begins to speak. The Spirit teaches you things that the world cannot teach. You begin to hear your own soul again. You notice that in the absence of noise, you start to see life more clearly. Suddenly, the things that once occupied your mind, gossip, distractions, comparison, lose their grip. You no longer crave constant activity because now you value inner peace more than outer success. David wrote, be still and know that I am God. It is in the stillness that revelation is born. When you silence the world, you make room for heaven to whisper. Many people fear being alone, but those who awaken understand that solitude is not emptiness, it is preparation. You might find that you're being separated from certain people, situations, or environments. Do not resist it. When God wants to reveal something new, He often removes you from the familiar. He isolates you so He can speak without interference. Think of Moses. Before he met God, he was led into the wilderness. Think of Elijah. Before he heard the gentle whisper, he stood in silence on the mountain. So if you feel distanced from as if conversations that once excited you now feel meaningless, it's not because you've become cold, it's because your spirit is shifting to a higher frequency. The noise that once entertained you now drains you. The chaos that once surrounded you now burdens your heart. You are learning to protect your peace because your peace has become sacred ground. In this season of silence, do not rush, do not fear the quiet. Great transformation happens in hidden places. Flowers do not bloom under constant light. They grow in the darkness of soil. Likewise, your soul is being nourished in the quiet. The world may call it isolation, but heaven calls it invitation. The Spirit is saying, come away with me. Let me restore you, fill you, and show you what your eyes have not yet seen. So embrace the silence. Listen deeply, for it is in the quiet that your awakening matures. Sign 3, the expansion of perception. My beloved friend, when the Spirit begins to awaken you, the third sign will unfold like the dawn. It is the expansion of perception. You begin to see beyond what your eyes once believed. You start to understand that the world around you is not just physical, it is spiritual, layered with meaning, woven with divine intelligence. Before awakening, you may have seen life only as a series of random events, some good, some bad, all disconnected. But when your inner eyes open, you begin to recognize patterns, purpose, and divine timing. You realize that nothing is coincidence. Every delay, every heartbreak, every detour was leading you somewhere sacred. Your perception begins to shift from why did this happen to me to what is this trying to teach me. You stop blaming life and start listening to it. You stop reacting and start discerning. You sense energy, emotion, truth. You notice how people carry light or darkness, peace or chaos, and you feel it in your spirit. You begin to walk with awareness rather than assumption. This expanded perception is both a gift and a responsibility. You begin to see the pain behind someone's anger. You recognize the fear behind their pride. You no longer see people as good or bad. You see them as souls on their own journey, some awake, some still asleep. Compassion grows in you and judgment fades away. That is the mark of an awakened heart. You also start to see yourself differently. You realize that your past was not a mistake, it was your preparation. The wounds you once hid have now become your wisdom. You no longer identify with your failures because you understand they were the soil in which your spirit grew strong. You stop chasing validation because now you see that you were always enough in the eyes of God. This new vision allows you to live from a higher frequency. You walk in peace, even when storms rage. You respond with patience where you once reacted with anger. You see divine fingerprints on the details of your day, the timing of a phone call, the message that arrives just when you need it, the stranger who offers a word that feels heaven sent. These are not small things. They are the signs of expanded sight. And as your perception widens, you begin to understand the great truth. Life was never happening to you. It was always happening for you. The universe, guided by the hand of the Creator, was molding you into who you were destined to be. So when you begin to see life this way, rejoice. You are awakening. You are no longer a traveler lost in the fog. You are a soul walking in light. The Spirit has opened your eyes, and now nothing looks the same again. You are learning to see not just with your eyes, but with your spirit. This is the third sign. You have begun to see the world as heaven sees it. The purpose of awakening. My beloved friend, many people believe awakening is about escaping the world, running away from problems, or detaching from all that is physical. But that is not the truth. Awakening is not an escape. It is a return. It is the soul remembering its purpose. It is the heart remembering its Creator. When the Spirit opens your eyes, you don't leave life behind. You enter it more deeply, more consciously, more compassionately. When you awaken, everything around you begins to look the same, yet nothing feels the same. You still walk the same streets, see the same people, face the same situations, but now you see them with divine clarity. You no longer react from fear, you respond from understanding. You no longer chase after what you already carry within. Before awakening, you may have believed happiness lived in achievements, people, or possessions. But through the process of breaking silence and expanded perception, you discover the greatest revelation. Everything you sought outside was already inside you. The peace you chased was buried beneath your own thoughts. The love you begged others for was sleeping within your own heart. The strength you looked for in others was always yours, waiting to be remembered. The purpose of awakening is to realign your heart with truth, to free you from illusions that once held you captive. You begin to live not for applause, but for purpose, not for recognition, but for resonance. You stop asking, what can I get from life? And start asking, what can I give to it? And something miraculous happens when you reach this place. Your presence itself becomes light. You don't have to preach. Your peace speaks. You don't have to prove. Your calmness convinces. You begin to inspire without trying, heal without effort, love without condition. You become a vessel, an instrument of divine grace in the world. But remember, awakening is not a destination, it is a continual journey. You will still have challenges, you will still face storms, yet now you will face them with awareness. You will understand that every challenge is a classroom, every obstacle is a teacher, and every delay is divine timing. You will stop asking God to remove the mountains and start asking Him to give you the strength to climb them. When the Spirit awakens within you, your purpose becomes clear, to be loved, to bring peace, to shine light in the midst of darkness. The awakened soul no longer fights the world, it transforms it through presence. So my beloved friend, do not fear your awakening, embrace it. You are not losing yourself, you are becoming yourself. You are returning home to the truth that has always lived inside you. The kingdom of God is not far away, it is within you. Let your awakening not end with understanding, let it become a way of life. Walk gently, speak truthfully, love boldly. That is the purpose of awakening. The final message, rise and walk in light. My beloved friend, if you have come this far, if you have listened to these words and felt them stir something deep within you, then understand this truth. You are already awakening. You would not be here drawn to this message unless the Spirit within you was calling you higher. The restlessness in your heart, the tears you cannot explain, the longing you cannot name, these are not random feelings. They are signals from your soul saying, it is time to rise. You have felt the breaking. You have endured the silence. You have seen with new eyes. And now a new chapter begins. The Spirit is not awakening you for comfort. He is awakening you for calling. You are not being awakened to escape life, but to illuminate it. To bring peace where there is chaos, to bring compassion where there is judgment, to bring light where there is darkness. The path ahead will not always be easy. Awakening does not make life simple, it makes life sacred. You will still face storms, but you will face them with faith. You will still walk through valleys, but you will walk with vision. You will still meet pain, but now you will see the purpose behind it. Because once your spirit awakens, you no longer see as the world sees, you see as heaven sees. Do not fear the changes happening within you. The world may not understand you anymore. Some people may drift away. Old habits may no longer bring joy. That is not loss, it is growth. You are outgrowing the illusions that once kept you small. You are remembering who you truly are. A child of light, created with intention, born with divine power, walking in eternal grace. The time has come to rise, to speak love in a world that speaks fear, to walk with faith when others walk in doubt, to stand in peace when others are shaken by chaos. The awakened soul becomes a living example of what divine truth looks like in human form. And when you rise, you give others permission to rise too. Your peace will calm others, your light will guide others, your courage will inspire others to awaken. Because awakening is not just about your transformation, it is about the transformation you bring to the world through your presence. So my beloved friend, lift your eyes, straighten your back, take a deep breath. You are no longer who you were. The old has passed away and the new has begun. Walk boldly into your purpose. Speak with love. Move with grace. Let your life become a living sermon, a testimony of awakening. For the Spirit of God is within you, the light is upon you, and your journey, though only beginning, will lead many others home. You are awakening, and once the soul awakens, no power on earth can ever make it sleep again.